Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jacob Restituto, and I'm highly honored and highly pumped, and I gotta say, highly impressed with Simon Servida today. I sent you a message like, I don't even know, bro, like four hours ago, and you're like, yo, let's hop on a Zoom call today. I'm like, let's go, man. You know I'm down. So welcome to the channel, man. I really want to say thank you for taking the time, man. This is gonna be a really cool conversation.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm really happy to be on here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
man.
had some free time today. So, yeah, okay. I didn't feel like working. So,
Actually, before we even get started, I usually ask this question before we get started. I want to be respectful of your time. Is there a specific time you need to be off by? I usually run like
no,
30, 40 minutes, but I want to just make sure in case.
no.
Okay, okay. Well, welcome. Or have it. So for the people that are new here and have not met you yet and are not familiar, can you give a little background?
Sure. My name is Simon Servida. I am a producer from Toronto, Canada. People most know me for my YouTube channel, Servida Music, where I post music and tutorials and beat making stuff and, just entertaining music videos.
Entertaining is the perfect word, bro. Because I was very funny story. So I reacted to the SB19 song this morning.
I saw that.
Oh, you saw the reaction?
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that. The funny comment though is like, so I was like, I watched a couple minutes of your breakdown because I love watching artists breakdown because I'm a musician myself. I make my own music and stuff. I watched a couple minutes of it. And I was like, you know what, this is gonna be really cool. I want to watch this later on. And I put a comment. I was like, I'm probably gonna watch this regardless. So like, do you guys want to see a reaction to it? You know, I can go in. And at the end of your video, you're like, while I'm filming it to react to, you're like, why don't you guys react to my channel like this? And I'm like, bro, if you only knew, man, here I am filming a reaction to you. So I haven't posted it yet, but I'll probably be posting it after the fact.
Nice. I'm excited. I can't watch those videos of like people reacting to me. It's like, it feels too weird.
It's funny, man. So, but entertaining is a perfect word, man. Because what I said throughout the video is, just like your personality is mad fun, man.
Thank you.
It's fun. You were like, I felt like I was hanging out with a friend, man. You're like, wow, I was like, this guy is cool, man.
Dope. That's kind of like what I always wanted it to be like when I created the channel. Just like a really close, friendly bond. Even though I don't know everybody I'm talking to, but just kind of trying to be myself and just be whatever I am.
Yeah, well, I loved it, man. It was mad fun. So let's talk. So I have to get my burning question. I need to know is while watching your breakdown, you talked about the guitars, but they were MIDI guitars. Did you keep those MIDI guitars? Were those the guitars we heard throughout the whole song?
There was,
or did you retrack real guitars?
There was some with the MIDI guitar, and then there's some where I did the guitar because like it was just like easy few note riffs, and then in other parts there was like the professional guitarist.
Okay.
But
because
like,
I was blown. I was like, yo,
yeah.
I was like, yo, if he kept these MIDI guitars and that's what we heard, I was blown away. I was like, there's no way that he kept MIDI guitars in there. Like, that's amazing. I think that's so cool because it's so hard to get MIDI guitars to sound actually good. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, the ones that were in, it was just like just some background thing in the chorus to make it a bit fuller. Okay. So it's like not a big deal if it's a MIDI or not. Like you're barely even gonna hear it. It's more of just like ambience or something.
Okay. And I liked your 91 hours that you tracked on the song.
I didn't.
What do you mean? Oh, you didn't like it? Yeah.
No.
Hey, bro. Well,
fan of it.
You know what? It paid off, though, man. It paid off. So
Holy.
That's amazing. So what would you what was the best experience about? So who are some of the other artists that you've worked for actually?
Oh, none. Like I'm most like that's kind of like the first big artist that I've actually worked for. Like I'm kind of trying to get into that, but the majority of the time I've just been fully independent. Yeah.
And this is completely unrelated to SB19, but it's interesting. I've worked with other artists, like producing for other artists, and it's an interesting dynamic being a creator yourself, right? And but I feel like you have this vision and they're like, I don't love that vision, and you're like, okay, I got to figure this out now. You know what I mean? It's very interesting work with clients, right?
Yeah, it's there's a lot of like back and forth.
Yeah, and trying to find the middle.
I'm not willing to push back for something, so I'll like, okay, I'll just do it myself. It's okay, no problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very interesting. It's a total, because when you're making your own music, which you do, right? You make your own music and stuff. Is it under Servida Music or is it under Simon Servida?
Simon Servida.
Okay.
Yeah.
With a question mark? I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
I don't like the branding wise. I don't know why I named it Servida Music, even though,
Uh,
yeah, I'm not sure.
so I was impressed though. Like, so you're using FL, right?
Hmm.
There was a ton of MIDI in there, man. I was really impressed with the amount of MIDI you were using. Just because, like, I mean, I use a lot of MIDI, but I also use a lot of samples. And it seemed like you had a decent amount of samples in there too. But the MIDI sounded fantastic.
Hmm. Yeah, it's yeah, like sample libraries are getting really good nowadays, especially like Contact and stuff.
Is that
If you
what you're
really
using?
like for the horns and well not you have like horns and strings and a couple like the live instrument stuff. Yeah, if you can really tweak the velocities and just like the note timing, you can get it pretty close.
For example, like, and I noticed in one section of it there was you could hear the swells in the dynamics. Did you like it would crescendo,
Hmm.
just like real strings or horns would.
Hmm.
Did you automate that, or did that? We're getting real technical for all the people in the chat here, man.
Hmm.
I'm geeking out on production. I loved it, So to talk to another
Nice.
producer is
Yeah.
fun. Um, so did you automate that, or is that like automated already in that kind of string section or that horn section?
It's either I am like automating it with my mouse, or I'm just playing it on my MIDI controller and I'm just moving like the mod wheel just so I can get like the
Hmm,
swells going. Yeah.
fascinating. Have you seen those rings, like the MIDI rings that they came out with? Like you could like wear the
Oh,
ring.
like it's like a theremin, right? And it's like,
Kinda, yeah,
yeah,
exactly. It's kind of like a theremin, but like you adjust it and like that adjusts the whatever, and then if you move it like this, it creates vibrato. It's this whole thing,
yeah,
man. They're like stupid expensive, but like they're a cool concept.
yeah. It's cool. It might
So
be it might be a bit too much for me.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I recently bought this product, not that product, but a different product. I was like, oh, this thing sounds amazing, and then practically, I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm not actually gonna use it. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it's funny. So, what's the process for you to typically start a song, man? Like, so you come outside of SB19, or this big track. What's something that you would like? How do you start a song? Where do you start? Where do you go?
Usually just make a beat because I just have to constantly be putting out beats, whether it's for the YouTube channel or if I want to make like a pack for an artist, and then it's okay. Is it good or not? Yeah. Do I feel like sometimes I'll just be mumbling and like just kind of singing little top line ideas to myself, and if I think it's catchy enough, like we'll kind of just dive in and we'll go for it.
What do you mean creating packs for an artist?
Because now I'm trying to work with a lot more artists, and just the way that it's like just kind of the process from my side is I would be making packs with samples or just full on beats, maybe like 5 to 10, and then just send those to artists or other producers. So I'm just constantly just making stuff.
Wow, that's cool, man. So have the doors opened up tremendously now that your name's tagged to that number one song?
Uh no, I don't know. My
Okay,
fan base
that's
has gotten bigger, which is like cool.
okay. That's cool. That's great. Like what? So, and part of the thing that I want to have talk. I mean, I mentioned it in that original message to the when I DM'd you.
Mhm.
Like the goal I want to use is like I want to inspire other artists to say, hey, it's actually possible to make a living in the music industry. As long as you work your butt off. Like it seems
Mhm.
like you definitely. I mean, 9 hours on one song is definitely working your butt off.
Yeah.
So like and I want to kind of debunk all the mysteries and lies, and so but that's interesting, and that's a great point that like yeah, you had a huge, I mean, from what I'm understanding, you had a huge hit and a huge success, but it's not like, hey, here I am, world, you know what I mean? It's like you still got to work, and that's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Maybe under the circumstances, but like I'm in Canada and I usually if I want to work with people, it'd be in American or Canadian. So
Okay.
me having a hit in the Philippines probably doesn't benefit me as much as it would be if I actually was from the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe it's that reason, but yeah, I'm not sure.
No, that's fascinating, yeah, man. So what kind, like, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of growth have you seen from it? Like, I'm curious.
Probably the biggest growth is just straight up from my YouTube channel. So just
Yeah.
getting like that whole because SB19 fans are nuts. And like I didn't realize it because like when I was making the song, like it just felt like, oh man, this is a lot of work. I'm not sure if it's worth it. And then a few days before the song came out,
Mm.
I was seeing people reacting to just the teaser, and then they were just freaking out. And I was like, wait, this is actually like quite the wave going on. So I've been really fortunate to kind of be a part of that, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. So, so what was the process like for the Zoom? That must have been very interesting. Zoom recording.
It's cool. It's
Yeah.
there's like a lot of screen sharing stuff we can do nowadays.
Uh-huh.
So it would be like me sharing my screen with them, and then it'd be like, oh, what about this? And then I'll play this chord on the piano.
Yeah.
Can you try it with this? Okay, how about this? And then
Yeah.
okay, yeah, play it back with the drums. It's almost as if we're there. It's just, you know, lower quality, a bit more laggy, but
Sure.
it's essentially the same thing as if we were together.
So actually, have you heard of the company called Lander?
Yeah.
They just came out with this product where it's called Lander Sessions, I think it is. And it's like, I think it's like $50 for the year. It's like really cheap. And you can actually like bring somebody in video chat and they're hearing your live session. Like it's so like there's no lag and they're hearing like not a compressed, any sort of compressed signal. Like they're hearing what you're hearing. It's wild.
Yep.
You put it in as a plugin. It's wild. It's really cool. Have you
Yeah,
heard
there's
about
a
it?
lot of. I have. I think. I want to say mixed and key. They have. I think something similar to that as well, where you can share project stems as like a
Oh, cool.
VST. There's like a lot of. They're making a
wow.
lot of collaboration plugins now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they needed to with the whole pandemic and everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you first start your YouTube channel?
January 2018.
Okay, wow. What, you had like 500K subs, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Good for you, bro.
Thank you.
How much of that is considered your full-time job compared to making beats?
It is my full-time job. I don't know.
Both
I'm not. I
combined.
don't know how you. Yeah, it feels like one.
Sure.
It doesn't feel separate. It feels like one big thing.
That's great. I think that's amazing. That's the goal, right? That's amazing. That's cool. So, so I'm curious. Like, did the pandemic help you or hurt the production? You know, like or the collaboration, or you as an artist? This question came from a sub. Actually, it's coming from the chat over here. So shout out to the person that requested it. Like they said, how did it impact you as a creator?
It's definitely not the worst. It's like good and bad. It's half and half. So the bad is I got this little office studio space for myself last year February, and the goal was, you know, bring in people from Toronto and they can come in here. We'll make a song, we'll collab, I'll videotape the whole process. It's gonna be like so fun, like fly on the wall documentary videos. And then it's been over a year. I still haven't invited a single person in yet, which is kind of like, that's pretty lame. But then obviously, you know, people are at home now trying to pick up a new hobby. So I have been seeing just like a bit more growth than usual.
That's interesting,
so
actually.
There's a trade-off.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting. Who is like the demographic that usually watches your videos? Is it producers? Is it people wanting to learn? Is it, do you know?
Yeah, producers wanting to learn. So probably on the younger side. I want to say, like, if I'm making a demographic, it's an American male in high school.
Really interesting.
Yeah,
hey, man. You know, I learned 75 to 80% of the stuff that I know today from YouTube. I mean, I taught myself how to play the guitar from YouTube. You know, like, and now like, I think I'm pretty decent at the guitar. You know what I mean? It's just like, but that's where it came from. Like, people are like, wow, oh my gosh, you're so talented. What do you do? How, like YouTube, man. I literally Marty Schwartz on YouTube. You know.
Oh my God, yeah. Shout out to him.
My first song was Marty Schwartz. Teach Me How to Play You're Beautiful by James Blunt.
Nice.
What did you watch his videos?
Yeah, I think it was. I can't remember the song. I think it was Green Day. It was a Green Day song. I can't remember.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I learned so much. I learned Brain Stew. I think it was. Is it Brain Stew? Or what's the one? The Green Day something stew. Well, regardless, yeah. But like, I think he taught me how to play that song, man. That guy was like, any guitarist between the ages of 15 and 30 now definitely learned from Marty Schwartz. So another question from somebody on the live chat says, what would be the best way to learn to produce music?
Have you heard of YouTube?
After that whole conversation?
Yeah, it's YouTube. Like, you're starting out. Like, the best way to learn, if you're just starting from zero, you don't need to like invest into
I agree.
anything big. Just start with YouTube. If you want
I
to get
agree.
deeper into it, maybe like take up a course or go to school. But for now, start off with YouTube and just see if you like it enough.
Two questions for you actually about that to follow up on that. Do you have a course that you offer?
I do. I have a production course called Pro Level Beats, and that is for like the person willing to go to the more advanced level.
Okay. And then did you? Because I'm sure that that goes like really in depth and stuff that you probably wouldn't
Hmm.
post onto YouTube because most people aren't interested in that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then did you ever go to school for it?
Yeah, I went to University of Guelph for music composition, and then
Okay.
that's where I learned a lot of like the technical theory side of music. And
Okay.
then I've been making music for over 10 years, so then there's just a lot of experience, collaborating with people who've taught me stuff, everything I learned in school. So then I kind of just put all of that together into my course.
How old are you now?
26.
Sweet. Okay, very cool. As am I.
Nice.
Very cool. So I'm just trying to format some of these questions that I'm getting over here. So, and I again want to say thank you again for taking the time, man. I appreciate it. Um,
No problem.
so where would you like? So what's the next step as a producer for yourself? Like, okay, you have this huge song. Like, then okay, back into the studio making my next beat, kind of thing. Like, how does that work? You know,
What do you mean? Can you say it
like
again?
yeah. I'm sorry. Like, so like where do you go? Like, where do you go from it? Do you just keep grinding on what you're doing, or like do you like continue to work with some of these big producers, or
Gonna be doing some more work with SB19.
okay,
So
that's
that'll be
cool.
fun. Yeah, just
Yeah,
kind of nurture that relationship. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be releasing my own music, but the point of the YouTube channel was just to build a fan base that kind of just supports me in whatever I do. So, it could be working for like the next big artist. It might be developing my own artist. It might be singing on my own songs. It might be doing a gaming channel. Just kind of having
nice.
like people that'll just come follow me. That's kind
Yeah,
of what I want.
I like that. Do you do like vlogs or anything like on that on channel?
Oh yeah, a couple of them. Not
Nice.
too often, but yeah, some music related vlogs and stuff.
I was highly impressed with how much you recorded for that breakdown, man. You must have literally recorded everything because like you had footage from everything, and I was just highly impressed with the quality and the amount. I don't think most people realize how much you like footage was definitely filmed.
Yeah, I'm like nowadays I'm kind of just having like anytime I make music, there's just a camera pointed at me just in case something happens. If I have a Zoom session with an artist, I'll just put a camera and just start working. And then I'll put
I
it
love
in like
that.
a folder in case it becomes something, it'll be there.
Yeah, our you and I both probably have more footage, more gigabytes of video of us making music than our actual music.
Yeah.
So what are you using to produce like VST wise lately? Like a lot of native instruments or what? What are you liking like these days?
Arteria stuff is amazing. That's kind of been my go-to
Okay.
for I'm thinking of like sample instruments. I like doing a lot of voice recordings now and just kind of like manipulating like
Really?
recordings from my phone because there's like a authenticity about it that is really nice, and then just kind of manipulating that with like random plugins and stuff.
Wow. Okay. That's
But I'm
fascinating.
I'm really into like live instrumentation. Like I'm not the best guitar player, but just having like those little squeaks and wood taps when I just hit the strings funny. Like I
Yeah.
like all of that in my recordings right now.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite plugins that you're using these days?
Um, Reels. I can't remember. Oh
Is
god, I
that the
can't remember
trap?
by
Is that
who.
like the tape feel
Yeah,
or
tape.
yeah?
I'm liking like a lot of Reels, RC20, um, Analog
What
Lab Pigments. Those are like what's the word? Synths. Yeah, yeah, synthesizers.
what's the
Serum is still
RC20?
good. RC20 by I can't remember any of these developer names.
Hmm.
RC20 Retro Color. I don't remember the name,
What
but
is it though?
that's like a tape emulation too, so you can add like vinyl noise and like
Oh, nice.
saturation and wobble and stuff like that.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. Uh, do you have any recommendations for people that are starting out for some really good quality free plugins?
Free plugins, hell yeah. Um, Wider by I don't know who any of this is.
Just type in wider plugin, people.
It's wider. Soft tube saturation knob is a good one.
Oh, interesting.
OTT is like super awesome. There's an LFO one. I think it's called just LFO tool.
Okay.
Those are really good free ones.
Have you used Spitfire at all?
Yeah, Spitfire Labs.
Yeah, yeah.
Super dope. Yeah, that's a good one.
They offer a lot of stuff for like that's good quality for free.
They're super generous.
They are, honestly. A really one I've been loving, a free plugin is called by I think it's by Baby Audio. Have you heard of them?
Is it the Super VHS?
No, but I know about that one actually. No, but it's oh wait, hold on. Maybe it's called is it by Baby Audio or it's whatever it is, it's their chorus pedal. It's like a chorus effect. Bro, the best chorus effect that I've ever heard, and it was free.
Really?
Oh
okay.
my gosh! Type in Baby Audio chorus. Let me see if I can like look it up really quick. It was the best chorus I've ever heard. Baby Audio chorus effect. So what else have you? Magic Switch. It's called the Magic Switch. I love it, bro. I've been putting it on everything. It's so good, and it's free.
Nice.
It's free.
I'm gonna download that.
Yeah, for sure. But you can never have too many plugins. Actually, that's completely not true. You can definitely have too many plugins.
That's not stopping me from getting more, though.
Yeah, it's true. It's like my brain knows that this is wrong. I don't need it, but I'm still gonna download it anyway. Because it's like I feel like there's like this paralysis by like you end up sticking with what you know. You know what I mean? Like you
Exactly.
Very rarely I'm like I have 50 different EQs, but I just use the one I know. You know what I mean? I don't go out and test the new EQs, which is probably not the best thing. But it's like you just get stuck in your rut.
Yeah.
That's funny. So, I have a question about you for mixing, actually. So, your mixing process, do you mix as you go, or do you mix, do you kind of get a demo of the song, bring everything to zero, and then mix from there?
No, I mix as I go. I can't deal with listening to something if it's not mixed. Just making a beat and the snare is too loud, I'm just going to leave it like that for the next 30 minutes. Are you kidding me? I got to turn it down.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. I do the same thing. And I'm fascinated. I guess though the difference is you and I do everything ourselves, whereas opposed to like, you maybe like a producer that would then send it to a mixer. You know what I mean? Because then they run it through their analog board or something like that. You know what I mean? Where it starts at zero. And I've always been fascinated with that idea because I kind of would like to try it to some degree, but it's like how am I gonna hear I create as I go, so it's like this whole like, oh, I want reverb on this guitar, am I not gonna throw the reverb on now? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know, maybe I'll try it one day. What are your thoughts on it?
I sent stems for what, so because they had somebody doing the final mix, so then
Okay.
I was sending like dry stems to them, but
how does that work?
How
do they get a feel for that? Like if so for example, like you don't throw the echo on a guitar kind of thing, or how does that work?
Yeah, I don't. It's like dry stems, like very little processing, especially, yeah, no reverb, no delay, like all of those sends, those are kind of gone.
So you mix it first, and then they say, hey, I kind of like how this sounds, and then you take all that stuff off, and the mixer ends up adding his own to it.
Yeah, and then they kind of use mine as like the reference.
I see.
So they just polish up like pretty much what I did.
Yeah. Why did you choose FL? Like, is that what you just learned on?
It was, I think I Googled like how to make beats and it came up. I was 14, so it's not really like a big thought process thing for me then.
I hear you, bro. It's the same thing with me. There was like, I'm lucky enough that my high school offered this course called electronic music, and they taught you how to use Logic. And people are like, why didn't you use Pro Tools? I'm like, because I've been using Logic for like 14 years now. Like, well,
yeah,
what am I gonna do?
I can't get off.
Exactly. It's like I'm gonna learn. I made 100 songs on Logic. You think I'm gonna start now at scratch with Pro Tools? Plus, Logic looks so much better. The Pro Tools is so ugly looking, man.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna spend 91 hours looking at my screen, I want it to look good, man. I'm not looking.
Yeah.
It's funny. So, what are some artists that you would love to collab with?
Oh, huge list. Right now, I'm a big fan of Givian.
Okay.
Anderson .Paak, Danny Blay. It's a lot of like hip hop, R&B people.
Sweet. Yeah.
Who else? That's like the top three I'm thinking about, right? Drake, obviously Drake, obviously Kanye West and Jay-Z, like obviously the big guys.
Yeah.
But besides those ones, Jidena is super good. JID Jid. Yeah, those are someone I can think of right now.
That's sweet, man. Absolutely. That's cool. What are some like okay, cool question about like kind of growing your channel. What are some steps that you think somebody that is just starting out could take? You know, like to start a channel, to grow your channel, to hey, I don't even have a camera. Where am I gonna? You know what I mean? Like, boom. What would be your message to that kind of producer?
So the two ways that I grew my channel were SEO, which is like search engine stuff.
Really?
So you typing in, especially if you're at zero, you typing in how to do something and you popping up at the top there is like the best way you can start if you have nobody watching you.
You think that still matters today? I mean, 2018 is not that long ago, so that's fascinating.
That just gets you like a couple, but that's not gonna right now. It's not the majority that's kind of coming into my videos. The one that I'm doing right now is the suggested tab. So like whoever's watching the live stream, whatever is on that right side that you want to watch next, that's what you want to hit. So when the what video came out, I had to release mine as soon as possible. So I released my video the next day so that when you watch the what video, you can see how I made it video right beside it. So now it kind of like funnels down all the viewers from there to go to here. And then, you know, tagging it correctly so that they're really similar to each other just kind of helps put them in the same little boat. So then that's what I've been doing as well.
Do you use tags inside of YouTube?
Yeah, sometimes. Not all the time. I'm not sure how much it matters. I'll just do it for safety.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube literally said. I agree with you. I used to. Oh, bro, I used to be so paranoid about that stuff. Like, so stressed. Like, I gotta get the right tags. You know what I mean? And then YouTube came out and said, like, right onto the tags thing. It's like, this doesn't really help you. I was like, I don't know the answer to that. You know what I mean? YouTube's whack sometimes. the algorithm. What are your thoughts on how do you get consistent views on your video, or do some videos just flop and some videos go like viral for you?
It's like when I'm making a thumbnail, I can tell if it's gonna flop sometimes. Like there's one video I put out yesterday that I don't have my face in it, and it's just kind of like an informative video. I'm like, I'm sure this one's not gonna do that well, and it's doing the worst so far out of my other videos. But
rank 10 out of 10.
There's a certain consistency that you need to put so people will actually click on it. So if I have my face, then I'll probably get this amount, like I'll get a higher amount of viewership if I don't have my face. So if you do it enough, you're going to start noticing those kind of trends.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so fascinating about the face, like how like you can have this beautiful photo, but if it doesn't have your face in it, it's like people don't click. It's so fascinating.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. So you found some pretty quick growth, man. 500,000 subscribers in 3 years is amazing. Like, what would you attribute some of that success to? Obviously, your work ethic. I mean, I'm complimenting. That's not a diminishing. Like, what do you think helped you get there?
Definitely the work ethic. Just if I'm posting consistently, I don't do that now, but I think just actually creating videos that people want to come back to, I think is really important, because, you know, subscribing to somebody doesn't actually mean you're going to watch every single one of their videos. So I just have to constantly try and put out my best work. And then, you know what I did at the beginning? I was like finding everybody in the producer space. So there was like people who were doing videos similar to me, like Cal Beats and Internet Money and stuff like that. I'd comment on every single one, and I do like a funny, witty, stupid comment, so it'd get a ton of upvotes. So I was like, for like a little stretch, I was at the top of every like really big producer video. And they're like, I keep seeing this guy everywhere. Okay,
bro, you have a great marketing mindset, man. I love it. Are you a fan of Gary Vee at all? Do you listen to his stuff?
I don't. I'm not.
Because like a lot of I listened for there's a period in time where I listened to him like every day, and like you just like the reason I asked is that you had a lot of similar ideas, you know, and he obviously runs a $150 million marketing firm, so like you're definitely doing something right. You know what I mean? Like that's amazing. That's
Thank you.
amazing. Do you still comment on people's videos like that?
I do. I do like I keep watch for like whoever's coming up in this scene,
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
see what's going on.
How often do you post now?
It's I haven't posted in a month, and then now I just posted twice this week. So I don't. That's the answer to that.
Super consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you on
Consistent.
TikTok at all?
No, I kind
Consistently inconsistent. Is that
Yeah.
what you're gonna say? Are you on TikTok at
No,
all?
I want to try it. Yeah, I want to try it. It's just I haven't found the time for it yet.
Because it's fascinating, and I was just talking to somebody yesterday about how TikTok is like changing the music industry. Man, it's so fascinating. Like all of these tracks. Okay, really interesting question for you as a producer. Who I want to compliment you and say that your production's top notch, man. Like it's high quality. Like like you're not some bedroom producer. You know, like it actually really sounds like professional. So compliments on that. So with that being said, like what are your thoughts? And this is not a bash on TikTok music or anything. I'm curious your opinion on TikTok music. You know, like some of these bedroom producers that kind of just randomly get a hit. You know what I mean? Like this random song that just pops off from some. I'm curious on your production opinion on that. Do you think like production matters? Does production not matter? You know what I mean?
No, I love it. It's like there is something, I don't know, is the word charming, but there's something like really nice about it being amateur, and it's just there's so much imperfection that just gives it so much character. No, I
It's
really
so
like all that
fascinating.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
hear
there's a
you.
place for like the professional stuff, and then there's a place for like the more amateur like bedroom vibe. It's like an atmosphere almost. It's really nice.
It is, and I feel like that TikTok's perfect for that because like people are literally filming no filter kind of thing. Like it's different than Instagram, like which is the perfect world. Oh, look at Instagram, you know what I mean? Like TikTok's like, hey man, like I have a double chin in this video, but I think this is funny, you know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. And so for somebody that would say somebody had a massive hit on TikTok, but like how if you had a massive hit on TikTok, it's blowing up right now, you know, hundreds of millions of streams, your first song or second song out there, like a lot of people end up happening. What would you personally do to continue that like success? Because I feel like what ends up happening is so many of these guys pop off, but then they don't go anywhere. You know what I mean? And it's like just because I don't know if they don't know how to handle success or it was thrown into the fire too quickly or what. But like, what would your next step be? Okay, I have 100 million streams on Spotify right now because my song popped off. What would you do
Yeah.
next?
Me, like, this is Simon Servida had a
thing.
thing.
You. Yeah.
I would focus on making like the best YouTube video on how I produced the #1 song and make it like almost like a 30-minute documentary, because that's when I can make like a real fan, not just like, oh yeah, I like a song, whatever. No, I'll make a real fan. And then obviously it's not going to get as many views as the song, but just kind of strengthening like a stronger core fan base, and then just going to the next one.
This is a really actually interesting question from somebody in the comments. Do you create beats based on what's trending or popular, or do you create music to create a unique sound?
Half and half. Like I start off on Spotify. If I'm just sitting and I have no inspiration, I'll go on Spotify, and then whatever like algorithmic playlist they'll give me, I'm not even sure if they're giving me like the freshest hits or just like some random old song, but I'll just listen to music until I find something there, and then kind of build on that, and then try and take it in my own direction if I want to.
Do you how do you combat writer's block?
I just stopped making music.
So you give into the writer's block?
Yeah, I go play Rocket League.
It's funny. I was expecting to be like, oh, I just pushed through it, man. I just that's funny. Hey, it works for everybody. That's amazing.
There's like weird times where like, I don't know, I'm just like,
I hear you.
Walking or just like bringing groceries in from the car, and then that's when the best line just hits me. So I'll just wait it out.
It'll come to me. I do hear that. Absolutely. Sometimes you just gotta walk away because you're like, and it's funny. Sometimes like you're like, I'm really inspired to make music, and you sit down, you're like, yo, this literally sounds like I'm burning a trash can. It's such garbage. You know what I mean? Like, and then sometimes you're like, I'm not in the mood. Like, whatever. I'll just sit down. Hey, I have 30 minutes free, and like you come out with your best track. It's like it's just so funny how it works, man. It's so funny. That's wild. What kind of gear are you using? What are you recording with and stuff?
Are we talking about like microphone?
Microphone, audio interface. Like your studio
Audio
setup.
interface is a Apollo Twin Universal Audio.
Do you like that? I've been debating that a lot.
It's I'm not. It's I have like the USB version because I'm using PC, so I'm not sure like if it's optimized as it needs to be. There's like some weird like iffy parts about it that it's kind of hard to screen record, which is like weird for my YouTube channel. But yeah, it sounds nice. It comes with really nice plugins.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, like, do you use any of the UA plugins?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really
Because
nice.
you can offload the CPU right into that UA. Yeah, that's fascinating. Do you actually find that helps?
Yeah, and I have like a satellite as well, from Universal Audio, so I can put even more plugins onto my project.
I don't know what that is. What's a satellite?
It's like a box. It's like almost like a box for loading up more plugins into your
It's
dock.
like extra CPU kind of thing, or?
Yeah, kind of.
Fascinating. I got to look into that. But it only works with UA?
Yeah.
Interesting. What kind of mic are you using? Is that a 57? A 57 right now? You're speaking into?
Yeah, it is. This is my first mic, so now this is just my Zoom talking mic. But the one I use for like recording is a BH2 Black Hole. I don't remember who it's. Yeah, that one's they gave it to me for my YouTube channel, so then I use that one. Nice, yeah.
Nice, very cool. You ever mess with any of this Slate stuff?
I have their plugin suite. I don't have any of like their hardware stuff. I like it.
Interesting.
There's like a lot of subscription. Yeah.
It's like $15 a month or something like that.
I'm not sure. I did the yearly one.
Okay. Do you mind me asking what it costs? I don't remember what it costs yearly.
I want to say like mid like 150 or something. I think.
Yeah, so that would make sense. Like something like $15 a month. Yeah. So you like it though? Is it? I've been again. There's so many options out there, bro. It's like where do you stop? You know what I mean? Oh man. But I do. You like it?
Yeah, especially for like electric guitar, like processing and stuff. I really like it there.
Interesting. I don't know much about FL. Like, does it have its own plugins in the sense of like guitar amps? If you hypothetically wanted to use a guitar amp through FL and stuff, like, or is it mainly for beat making?
Mainly for beat making. There might be some guitar stuff. I don't really think it's that dedicated to it though.
Yeah, that's interesting. Have you ever messed with any like? Would you, if you had the opportunity, would you actually like to use like a true Roland TR-808 kind of thing for some actual beat making, or are you just not interested in hardware stuff?
I'm more of a software person over hardware.
Cool.
Yeah, like if like ideally, I just have like a super high processing laptop that I just bring around everywhere. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I like the convenience.
Absolutely. Where do you get your samples from?
Some from Splice. I do a lot of like sound designing on my own, so there's a lot that I'm just making from scratch. And then a lot of my YouTube friends like have drum kits and sounds like that, so then I'll be picking up some of those as well.
I like Splice a lot actually. They have some pretty sick stuff on there. You ever mess with like Output and stuff, like their arcade stuff?
I don't have arcade. I have a couple Output things though. I have Portal. That's a weird one.
What is that?
I can't explain it to you. Like they just do weird things to it just manipulates your thing funny. And if I just want to make like a weird ass sample, then I'll just throw that on there.
Who are some of your favorite producers at the moment?
Music producers. Let's go with. Oh man. Oh whoa. I just kind of got like flooded. There's so many. Let's. A lot of my YouTube friends I still love. Like Kyle Beats, Cody, Nick Mira. Oh gosh, Curtis King. They're super dope. People in the industry. Jetson is amazing. Metro, Murder Beats. They're super dope too. Yeah, there's a lot. There's so many.
Yeah. You're right. It's just easy to get flooded with that. What was the? Hold on, I saw a question that a sub was asking. Where'd it go? What's your favorite part of creating music?
My favorite part of creating music. Okay,
And then to follow that up
like
with what's your least favorite part about creating music?
I'm trying to structure this in my head. There's a part where I make music where it's not even close to done. It's like I want to say it's around like the 25th percent of when I'm like finished making the beat, where I just finally get it. Like I just oh, this is what the song is, and then it's just that realization moment, and then I'll just play it once for the first time, and then it's like, oh, it just feels so damn good.
And everything else, you kind of like, once you get to that point, I feel like it's like kind of relatively smooth sailing from there.
Smooth sailing,
like,
yeah, exactly. Yes. Like it's just all the it's like all the overthinking part is over. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah.
And now you're in the feeling it kind of stage. Oh, I'm feeling this right. Yeah, I completely relate to that. Absolutely.
Okay. I thought it was crazy. Yeah.
No, that's the best part. I would have never thought of that being the best part, but you're right. Because like after that's like when you hit that, like then everything's enjoyable. Because like sometimes when you're like starting off a song, it's like it doesn't feel like it's frustrating almost. It's like painful because like I know this is gonna be cool when I'm done. It just I hate it right. It's not hitting right. You know what I mean?
And then when you get it, there's just like all of a sudden there's like a million ideas just coming at you, and you just 100%, you can't even click 100%. This like damn mouse fast enough because like I gotta put all this down. There's just so many like things going on in my head. So good.
Yes, absolutely.
So good.
Yeah, absolutely. What's okay to follow that, and then I want to ask what your least favorite part is. But to follow that, what is your favorite beat that you've made?
Favorite beat that I've made.
That somebody could type in Simon Servida or Servida music blank beat and they could hear it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's one called Multiverse that I really liked actually.
Okay.
I think that's a good one. Yeah.
You ever like when you're driving on whatever the main highway that Drake always references in his songs, like whatever the 408 or whatever.
Yeah.
You ever turn on Simon Servida music, your beats, and just jam out to them?
Like I have them on Spotify, and sometimes like I'll shuffle, so then they'll just end up hitting them.
Okay.
You know, like back in the, like if you listen to some of your old music, you cringe.
Yeah, I hear that.
Like pretty much like all the time. So it's a lot of that. But then there's some of those songs where like, oh damn, I'm not too bad. And even though I'm like looking from them like maybe 1 or 2 years after, that's when I know I had a good one.
Yes, I would actually want to talk about that. That's fascinating because so many people get stressed out of like, oh, I suck as a songwriter right now, or oh, my beats are terrible. But one thing I usually say about that is sometimes I'll look back on some of my songs and like 85% of my first couple songs and beats were horrible. But the fact of like there were some I'm like, yo, this was a hit, man. And it's like sometimes you just got to put your stuff out there and you just got to keep making. But like some of your early stuff's gonna be a hit. Like it's like maybe I'm not saying a hit like number one on Spotify. I'm just saying like good stuff. And it's like
it's good, yeah.
And then the goal is to make and maybe when you first start, maybe 1 out of 10 is actually really good. The goal is to make that 2 out of 10, then 3 out of 10, and then the goal would end up being 9 out of 10. You know what I mean? Because you're never gonna get 10 out of 10 with everything. But like, but I agree with that. I think that there are some songs you make and you're like, yo, this hit. And even though it was my first year making music or that songwriting or whatever the case is, like, I agree with that. So to circle back, what's your least favorite part about making music?
So my favorite part is around the 25th percent. So I guess my least favorite part would be like the 24th percent. Just before I get it. Right
before you put your laptop on your knee and snap it, right there.
Yeah.
It's basic. My least favorite part is editing vocals. I don't like. I don't. Let me rephrase that. Like comping. I don't like comping, and pitch correcting. It just gets a little tedious for me.
It is tedious. Yeah, that's a perfect word for it. Yeah, and that's second least favorite or something. Yeah.
Yeah, because like it's like I want to create, and that's not so much creating as it is just like managing. It's almost I would equate it to like putting folders in your computer. Like it's like, okay, this goes here, this file goes here, Okay, this file is garbage. You know what I mean? Like it's like,
Yeah,
oh, I hate that.
It kind of kills the vibe. Yeah.
It does kill the. There's no vibe. It's not vibing at all. And it's
Yeah.
it's not like I could be like, oh, let me put on some music while I comp my own vote.
You don't? You can't do
You're
that.
just sitting there hearing this same 4 takes. Actually, I'm curious how you record when you record vocals. How do you do it? I particularly usually record 3 different takes, and then if I need more, I'll go and do more. But like, do you find at least? I find at least I've recorded 12 takes, 13 takes, and be like, yo, I don't remember what the first 6 sound like. Now I'm on take 11. Which one's the best take? You know what I mean? I'm curious your opinion on that.
I'm around you. Yeah, I do 4 takes.
Okay.
4 takes overall. Fill in the blanks when I need to.
Yeah. This is a cool question. I Stella Want You says, are there any other Filipino artists that you'd like to collab with?
Oh, her. Straight off her Grammy win. I want to work with her.
I didn't know that she was Filipino. That's
She's
interesting.
a Hapsy. Yeah, Hapsies.
Halfsies. That's cool. I didn't know that. So you'd want to do some of that jazz R&B kind of stuff?
Oh,
Would you get into
yes. Yeah, I love that stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. What? So what? If you were to genre define, do you have a defined genre that you work in, or do you just make what you feel?
I would say make what I feel, but most of the days it is hip hop. But I do think I can make stuff if I want to make something different. Yeah.
I admire that, and I think that it's cool when artists do that. For example, I've just been getting into BTS. Okay, I want to make sure I pronounce that properly. For some reason, I thought I said BST, but BTS, yeah. Which one thing I'm appreciating about them is like you hear one song, and you're like, oh, that's cool, that's hip hop. Oh, you hear another song, oh wow, now we're doing slow R&B. Oh, now we're doing like EDM, like Chainsmokers. Like, oh, now here's an acoustic guitar, and I'm like, I like the fact that they just make what they want, and like, you know,
Yeah.
that's cool. I think that's unique. Not art. Not it's so easy to get caught up and be like, oh, this is what Coldplay sounds like. But even Coldplay, they're good at changing. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think it's like that's just like the culture of, like, I guess boy band stuff. Like the demos that SB19 were sending me. It's nothing like what, which is like, okay, yeah, it's fun. It's almost like a completely new adventure.
yeah, I liked what you said actually regarding that demo. Because I watched your thing. Like I said, I liked how you mentioned the fact about it going from I think 112 BPM to 96 BPM. That was just I personally, like, I know how much of a nightmare that is, so I related to that. So can you speak on that? Like, what was the hardest part about that? Like, how did you end up going? Like, how did you do that? How did you go about it? And what are some things you've learned from that?
That was like easily the hardest part of the song, because
Yeah.
since I'm the producer, I don't see the vision that like they get. Like,
Yes.
they sent me them singing and it's just a guitar, and I was like, why is the
Yes.
tempo changing? But I don't see the vision that like what they're hearing in the head. I'm the one who's supposed to execute it.
Yeah.
So it was so hard just to wrap my head around like how that even goes.
Yeah.
But like now that it's all together, it's like, oh, that's what they were going for. But I
Yeah.
couldn't tell that just from like a single voice and a guitar.
Were they did they play to a track when they sent it to you, like, or like a metronome? Okay, so it was in time though. It just okay, because it'd be a nightmare if it was like it just randomly started slowing down.
They just
what
earballed
tempo?
it.
Yeah, they earballed it. Oh, that would be a nightmare, just for any producer, you know. That's funny. I love the fact, bro. I love the social media part of this world. Like, it's just exactly what's happening right now because of social media. I was able to reach out to you, and the same exact thing with SB19 reaching out to you because they saw you or something. Like, I love that, man. It's just the accessibility to collaborate is so cool, man.
Yeah,
It's
super dope.
so,
That's why.
It's,
Yeah, you just have to put yourself out there. That's pretty much it.
yeah. I appreciate you responding to the message so quickly, man. Like, you were just like, hey, let's go. Boom. Let's get on it. Yeah.
No problem. No problem.
It was cool. Did the message go to your, like, requested messages?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's an interesting barrier that I find Instagram has. But it's cool when people actually see them, so I appreciate you checking your requests.
No problem.
How could this channel and the people watching this video, how can they support you and your music adventure?
I guess just follow my YouTube channel, Servida Music, and then just, take a look, watch me do stuff. I guess I don't know.
What's the if they had to watch one video first, what would you recommend?
I don't know. I'm kind of like I'm inconsistent with like the content style as well. I'm not sure.
Okay,
Watch
so
the
top three style videos.
God.
3 videos.
Top. Oh.
Take a little. Take a
Oh
little.
no, I don't know. I really can't answer this question.
Okay, that's fine. So just watch all his videos, guys. Just go watch all his videos. There you go. That's offset.
I like because I've been like I've been doing so many YouTube videos that
Mm-hmm.
it's like there's just kind of like running jokes and memes going on now. So I'm not sure if like they can just like step into it, or are they okay with like starting from the beginning? I'm not sure.
Oh, let me ask you a question. How did your family? Did you always want to be a musician or a producer, like in the industry?
I liked music at like 14. So when I started at 14, it was like a hobby, like
Yeah.
just playing
Yeah.
basketball on weekends. It's one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I went to university originally for biology. I don't know why. I never even liked science, but I
Okay.
just felt like I needed a real job. And it's like, okay, this is the most tolerable one. I
Okay.
ended up failing that course. And I was like, I've been doing the music thing pretty consistently. I think I'm going to go for that because I never
Okay.
stopped loving it. So then I was like, okay, can I, switch my major to music?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay. So then, yeah, they're super supportive.
That's amazing. That's great. At any point, did you find like did anybody not? I'm not saying your family or anything, but friends, family, did they kind of make fun of you for starting a YouTube channel or anything like that?
No, no, they're always supportive. No, no, I don't have anybody like that in my in my circle.
No, hey, I feel like not even just hating, but like I feel like at least in my friends, they were like, "Oh, Jake with his YouTube channel," you know what I mean?
They
Like,
never said it to my face. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
but,
To me, they've been supportive.
yeah, that's funny.
I don't know
That's
about
funny.
behind my back though.
That's funny. So that's funny. Is it too late to start a YouTube channel? You think somebody could start in 2021?
Oh man, it's still early. Still early.
Hmm. I like that answer. That's a great way
There's
to put
just a
it.
way that like people consume YouTube that's different from like Instagram and like TikTok or something, like because those are just like short form things on your video. But like YouTube is almost like sitting down at your computer and watching a TV show. There's like there's more investment. I feel like when it comes to a YouTube channel than like an
100%.
Instagram page. Yeah.
100%. But to wrap it up, man, like I said, I want to say thank you again for taking all the time. To wrap it up, what is? I mean, we kind of touched on this a little early when you get writer's block, but when you're at that 24th percentile and you're like, yo, I want to quit being a musician because I'm frustrated. Like what do you do? What in that moment? Do you keep pushing through? Do you take a break? How do you deal with that?
Oh yeah, those are I can do either or. It's there's like the good thing there's like multiple ways to get past it. Like it could be just, leaving it and resting your ears and then coming back to it. It could be like just pushing through and persevering. It could be like experimenting and just going like a completely different direction just to get your mind off it. But there's a lot of ways to I think that's the reason I like music so much. Is just because there's so many ways to do it, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. Where do you get your 808 sounds from? Because some of the sounds you were using, man, were so dirty. I loved it.
Oh, I usually make a lot of my own, and then there's like a lot of different processing that I do to it, or some like drum kits, yeah.
Where do you make them from? Like you just start with a sine wave?
Serum, yeah, sine wave like serum. It's
Wow.
mostly like in the processing. So FabFilter Saturn is a really good saturator for it. Capitator, there's a lot of good ones, yeah, just to beef it up.
Yeah, yeah. Do you? Okay, interesting question here. Do you? I find at least for myself, like I pull a lot of stuff from a lot of my previous songs, like and just be like, oh, this drum sound would sound perfect. Oh, this synth would sound perfect. Do you do that, or do you start from scratch almost with everything?
Um, I do I like half and half. Yeah, sometimes yeah, it's perfectly fine, and then I think it's more about just understanding like what's the most important part of the song, I guess.
Hmm.
So yeah, if I'll just recycle the same riser or the same crash, like yeah, it's just a crash,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Do you usually go through so many? Uh, like I saw that you had 5 different versions of mixes or even versions of what? Do you usually go through that many versions
Um,
of a track before you put it out?
I guess so, but like the changes are just so small. I'm just doing it like just for the sake of being organized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it might just be like, oh yeah, just add more drums to the bridge. Okay, we'll just make an entirely new. We'll just call it a new version, just so like
Oh,
it's just easy to
interesting.
keep track of it. Yeah.
Interesting.
but it's not like an entirely new composition.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Cool, man. All right, well, I want to say thank you so much again for being a part of this channel, and taking the time to do this interview. So it was a lot of fun. If you could just hang out for 2 more seconds, I'm gonna end this live stream and say thank you to everybody watching. But
Cool.
thank you guys so much for taking the time to hanging out with me and Simon Servida. It was a bad fun. He's a sick guy, man. So go check out his channel. Go check out his music if you have not heard the song that is trending. It was #1 in the Philippines.
Yes.
His #1 produced song. Come on, guys. Go check out his stuff. If you have not heard the song, go check out that song. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to check out my